For example, last night, um, I'm talking to this person. What they do with your libido, the way they manipulate your libido, is used to break you down. It's so nasty. Your libido is utilized just like so much out of your emotions to disturb you. As I said before many times, what they like to do to disrupt you, to disturb you, to disgust you, to torment you, is to use your libido to break you down. And the way they do that is they aim your libido and stimulate you when it's going to be the most disgusting. Toward children is what they love to do, so they can you can they just it just disgusts you. You know, at this point, I detest seeing children, because what's going to happen is this technology, this perps, this program is going to force me to get this reaction that I avoid even looking at children, even hearing children. I just am disturbed by it. But at one time or another, I will see a child. Matter of fact, when I'm going outside, it's something the only fear I don't have fear of adults at all. Like I'm not feeling the threat of whatever's going to happen to me. I'm not scared of that. I'm just fearful to see children, because then I'm going to be forced to get sexual stimulation that this technology can force you to experience to torment you. They are using your libido in this disgusting way that just torments you. Now I know who I am. This is just nasty things that I know is being manipulated for me to experience to break me down. And this is not unique to me. You will hear other target individuals saying that. I detest seeing children. I truly cannot stand it. Which was not the case before August 19, 2019. Now, you gotta be strong but I don't know what kind of person can be strong enough to deal with this nasty manipulation that you are forced to experience. And like I said, my libido is used like, to break me down. For example, I'm talking to this person. I know my imperfection. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect, but it's not none of this nastiness in regard to children. But my imperfections are, I am somebody who definitely have imperfection. Let's just say that. I'm talking to this person who I'm guessing is a perp at this point. I should expect that all my interactions are gonna be like that. And we're talking about certain things that are somewhat sexual. This woman is noticeably older than me, and she, no, we're talking, and we're talking about something sexual. So obviously the stimulations, I should get some kind of sexual stimulation, but this is exaggerated sexual stimulation. Like it will not be that intense. Like I recognize when things are like even when it comes to just me, a woman, when I feel this intense stimulation, I'm like, they're doing something to me, even though this is a woman. They're doing something to me. I know these fake stimulations are just not me. And usually, what happens is they crank up the libido even toward like regular, actual women, because at some points, this cranked up libido is going to be aimed toward a child. When I see a child, they play with you in this fashion, and they utilize whatever tactics are going to work to break you down. And so I've understood they've done that so much, and they do things very systematically. Things happen all the time the same ways. That's what this video sounds the exact same thing. It's the exact same way. So for example, so that happens. I'm talking to this woman, and we talk about certain things that, sexual at some point. I'm getting intense sexual stimulation. It's just disgusting. And I'm just like, okay, wow, this is, well, not, it's not disgusting, but you know what's coming next, usually. It's like, oh, like this. That's how nervous I am. It's like, this is a woman. I'm being forced to get sexual stimulation. It's like, there's a reason why they're doing that. This is not just for me to be stimulated toward this woman. There's nothing degrading about that. It's because they're going to later on aim it towards a child. It's the same things over and over. Even though I know what's going to happen, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'll get on some social media, and I go on my Instagram, and I see somebody, somebody that they say that are traumatized because when I was a kid I did something stupid as a child in middle school. They use whatever they can use, hold on to it, and utilize this. For me, it's me as a dumbass middle school doing some dumb things to myself. A child at that age is impulsive and can do impulsive things and never do it again. Matter of fact, the fact that they never happen again is an example of how much of a child I was, because if there's something I was really into it would be happening multiple times, but it never happened again. And it was something that was a moment of a child impulsiveness. Never happened again. But they always try to exaggerate what I did as a child and trying to change memories of my child. I'm talking about middle school. Huh? I'm not like pre-high school, 13, 14 years old. So you understand, especially as a boy age, that's the time where things are kind of still like connecting a little bit. Um, and so they've been trying to exaggerate that moment, and they try to make me imagine, no, you traumatized this person. You did like, no, I didn't traumatize this. Like, she doesn't even know who I am. And to prove that I know that's not the case, I befriended her on this social media, and I tried to actually send a message. They haven't responded because she's like, who is this person talking to me? Anyways, I see her story. I'm like, okay, they go. You know, at this point, we're all adults, right? This now is a young woman getting close to 30, maybe a few years before she's 30 years old. I'm obviously me. I'm in my 30s, late 30s at this point, and so I see her story. I see her story, and immediately, because she's like on her knees, like doing something funny, being goofy, they start stimulating me. It's like, oh, you remember you felt that stimulation when you were a kid. You see, that's what I'm like, Jesus. She's first of all a grown woman. Well, she's a late 20-year-old person. I don't know if it's a grown woman, but she's getting close to 30 years old. It's crazy. And they're like, you see, that's proof. You know, you were mapped it. It's like, first of all, you're saying that you giving me the reaction I felt when I was a 14-year-old, right? Toward her. She's a 27, 8-year-old woman. I'm a late 30-year-old guy. What are you saying? It's obvious that you're rewiring my brain. It's crazy. And then they try to create this logic that makes no sense. I just heard some chains because they tell me I'm going to die in chains. Like, I'd rather die in chains. I'm never going to identify with this manipulation. I know it doesn't make no sense. I know your job. They think this torture I'm going to go through should make me accept this nonsensical. Yes, my brain is being rewired. This is why I'm expressing that. They try to make me think, oh no, but in 2014 you followed somebody I thought was an adult because she looked way older than her age. You want to see her picture? You want to see how stupid. They have nothing real, because today what's happening is when I see a child, from the babies to the older kids, they're going to force me to be stimulated. Sometimes it's not even a child. Sometimes it's somebody who just look somewhat young, an adult, somebody who looks like they can be teenager when they're adults, or they underage when they're just adults. Just for that simple fact, they can stimulate me. And then try to create this false reality of storylines. Now with mapped this proves like true. And then they go try to find whatever they can use to be like, oh no, but you see in 2014 you followed this person. It's like, and it's like this person is somebody who looked like she was like in her 20s when she just like wasn't. So what? See, that's proof. And by the way, when I say follow, I mean like literally like on social media. Never talk to this person. Never even had an interaction. Never even say hi on whatever. It's like, nah, they are. You see, you follow this person in 2014. You look at this person, look like you're what? This person is what? This person look like she's like in the mid-20s. It's not they are. It's proof. When you find out these people all along have been manipulating people in these pedophilia ways of reacting toward children. And by the fact the entities they work for, like I said, are ran by entities with filled pedophiles. And they are here trying to make you accept things that you know are manipulated, and then try to convince you that it makes sense because in 2014 you followed this person, or when you're in middle school, 13, 14, you remember what you try to find ways to get you to accept what you're experiencing today, and try to, while erasing you. Obviously, I know I'm not too hard to figure out. They just erasing me and try to find whatever they can use to make me accept this disgusting manipulation. I'm like, now we mapped it. So yeah, you manipulated me. And you do this manipulation commonly with others. They do the pedophilia type of torture. And it's been very, very well validated that they do that. While try to find ways to get you to accept these things, looking for whatever they can to try to make sense to from the manipulations, from the falsifications, from whatever thing they can try to use that in different ways. And they send people who you know analyzing is not their forte. People who you can tell they're full of shit. Sometimes they even try to, most of the time they try to present themselves like this feminist group of like, really? Really, you think that's what I'm gonna think? And the way they can even gaslight you, some of them sound like children. It's like, oh, we're not. What she's saying, these perps, when they say that, we're not. It's like, we're not this group of femme fatale, feminist group of like, oh my gosh, of course you're not. Duh. Do you think because you say that this way now, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? Maybe you are. Of course I know you're not. But I understand your task. Now, for me, I'll never be myself again. And it's going to be so hard for me to be seeing things for they are. They'll tell me, like how I'm going to fight and torture. And it's like, okay, I'll be tortured, I'll be fighting, but I'll never identify with this manipulation because I know you do that. I know you force people to have this reaction toward children. I know whatever's happening around me is meant to break me down into accepting this. And I know that the truth is the people who actually should be looked into are the people you work for. The people coming up with this technology, because these entities have shown and been exposed for having this issue coming over and over and over with this pedophilia type of issues. To the point where today there's a bill that was created called End National Defense Network Abuse Acts, because the DoD network, computer network, is ranked in the top tier for child porn being trafficked using the same computers given to them by the DoD, utilizing the DoD network. Those are the entities running this program. These losers here are just well contracted to implement this. Do I look at them and think, oh yeah, you're coming out with the V2K technology, that's your technology. Oh, you're investigating. I'm in New York City. This is when I say this comicalness about what we experience, is because how stupid they want us to be. Like, you think that I don't think that if any investigation would ever be applied in this way onto me? Like, I don't understand that. Like, do you understand how stupid that sounds like? That's me. I'm the one that they'll spend so much resources to investigate me, to figure my brain out. Okay, clowns. It's obvious that the reason why so much resources is utilized onto me is because there's something bigger than that. And what's bigger than that is my brain being being a human being. Is the asset they utilize to develop this technology, this weapon. They know that, sometimes I wonder how, these people really have to disconnect with reality to be able to, the level of disconnection they have to have. It's surreal. And I wonder, how do they live with actual reality? If they're capable to disconnect themselves this crazy, to this level, what happens when reality hits them? And they tell me I'm going to be crying, I'm going to scream, changing the subject about the torture I'm going to experience. And listen, I know this torture is going to be happening for the sole purpose that I make it hard for them to disconnect from reality. And for that, to them, that is provocating. It's a provocation, because I stop them from disconnecting from reality. I bring them back in. And to them, that is an issue. That is something they don't want to be connected with what they're part of, because what they're part of, they know is very foul. This thing is not just happening to me. They do this to they have to do that to all kind of human beings, inclusive of children. If it's a development of a technology of a weapon, you need samples of all ages, all genders, all races, to get a better machine learning technology and verify what technology, what tactics works the best in breaking down a target individual. And whatever it works, they utilize those same tactics and tweak around what they need to tweak around. So you know that they do that to even children. So I've understood that, and I understand they try to make me forget that. And I expect to go through horrible things, because the people who wanted to disconnect from this reality are frustrated, are provoked, because I'm removing them from their reality, which is a falsified reality. It's a disconnected reality. So, wherever I'm going to go through, God give me strength, be with me till the end. But thank you, because I could have lived in this falsified reality with them. I had to disconnect myself in these ways. Down myself, down myself. Leave off what I can make somebody experience via this technology. This trash will get theirs. Just because they're disconnected from reality, reality still won't get to them. They disconnected from the reality so they can enjoy what this offers them. This is amazing technology. And there's so much sophistication that it seems like, man, like some people, some of these perps, some childlike people, imagine being able to partake in this kind of level of sophistication, and you know this is not only applied onto me. So this is a global type of technology that gives them access to a certain level of awareness. And so to cope for what they have to do to get to that, to be in the loop, they live this fantasy. They come up with their own little fantasy of what this is about, what this is, what they think these people, like what they're part of. They start making little movies in their brain, like a little false reality where there's some kind of vengeance, and they're avenging this when they're involved in a program where literally children as young as 3 weeks old need to be tortured or being tortured to see the impact of those torture, where they're torturing women in ways that are so disgusting and foul. Some of them have partaken in the torture of women, but they need to disconnect from that. Because what it means you start looking at yourself the way you need to look at yourself. So for me, bringing that to their face all the time means it's provoking to them. And so I need to ask God to give me strength till my last breath, till I die. Because death to me means I'm not scared of it. If anything, I just realize how fragile life is. And I understand that these people talking to me tomorrow can die. And it doesn't do nothing to me. It doesn't give it a single ounce of satisfaction. They're so fragile. If anything, I understand death. You know, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting that I will understand death better. But not even them, the way I look at them is like, oh my gosh, just like that. Boop, you're out. You're dead. Just like that. It seems like me being so close to my death made me see other people's death. Made me see how fragile everybody's life is. These people calling themselves God today, I'm like, oh my gosh, tomorrow you can be in bed there in the hospital dying. Me, every night, I'm like, okay, if I go, I'll go. Because they really try to make you, your life can be turned off like a switch in here. When you're a target individual. I think now what they're doing is trying to keep me alive, if anything. So to all my target individuals, stay strong. And don't subscribe and don't identify with any of this nasty manipulation. Nobody's perfect, but know your imperfection. Because what they're gonna do is gonna try to change your imperfection and make you accept this false imperfection that they've created, and want you to identify with this. And so for me, I gotta be strong and see these bottom feeders for what they're truly involved in. Whatever the things they try to vilify me, for me, they're like, no, die for what you did as a child. Like, really? You who actually traumatized these babies by torturing them, you think you're gonna tell me that? Don't be involved in a program where they literally suffocate 7-year-old kids to try to make me feel like you're an vengeful person. You're disgusting, low life. To all my target individuals, stay strong.